Here are the top 10 chest pressing exercises for boxing. Hello everybody, welcome to Boxing Science. In this video, we're going to be sharing the top 10 chest press exercises for boxing. Now the chest press, or we like to call it the horizontal press, is a really important pillar of our strength training programs for boxing. Now the reason why it's so important is because upper body strength is important for the delivery of a punch, to stabilize the shoulder whilst going through high amounts of force, and then also the snap at the end range of the punch. So we can use a range of different exercises such as a bench press, a dumbbell bench press, press ups to try and improve upper body horizontal pressing strength. However, there's some important considerations to make around the boxer's shoulder. A typical boxer is in his stance and guard for hours and hours over a training week and throws thousands of punches in a single session. This means that our boxer is very anterior dominant and becomes quite tight, and the shoulders become quite elevated. This is shown in our Boxing Science case studies that over 66% of youth boxers have shown tight shoulders in an overhead squat test. So with this, we need to make careful considerations in the pressing exercises that we do. If you've been on a bench press or dumbbell chest press going quite heavy, you'll feel it in the elbows, you'll feel it in the shoulders. This is particularly important to consider with boxers because these areas are getting quite beaten up. Also, what's really important is this shoulder range. Because we're quite tight in that anterior complex, what will happen when we get into these deep ranges, that we'll get an internal rotation of the humeral head, putting a lot of pressure on this AC joint here. So we want to try and avoid this. So we need to implement some safer horizontal pressing exercise techniques to optimize load and strength, whilst also improving the safety and reducing any muscular soreness. So all of these exercises that we implement at Boxing Science have those in mind. So let's take a look at the exercises, me taking through some professional and amateur boxers through these horizontal pressing exercises. Okay, so now we're going to go into the press up. So we're going to get into that power position, feet just wider than hip width apart. We're going to act like there's a knife coming up from the floor, so we're tensing the stomach, squeezing the glutes, and then we're firing up. Going all the way down, pause, then up. Deep breath in, sharp exhale at the top. So like I said, about like being in that start position, you're wanting to act like that's a little knife coming up from the floor. And with this, what this does is just create that little bit of core tension. A lot of athletes that I see in the gym will press with their upper body first and leave their lower body, lower back behind, and they'll press up like this, rather than pressing up in all in one action. So we're gonna get the band in a figure of 8, gonna pop it around the back, and then just have the bands just sitting either side of the elbows there. We're going to come down into the press up action, probably start from a standing position, lower yourself down, pause, and then drive up. It's really important with this, like I mentioned before, is that core tension. You've got the bands now, making it more top heavy. You're likely for people to press up and leave the hips behind. But we want to make sure is that your body is all working as one and all moving as one. And that's why we use press-ups in the first stages of a training camp and using it as with beginner athletes.
Drive it up, accelerate, good. 5 reps on this one. Good. Drive it up. Drive it through, good. Control it down. Core tight. Drive, 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 drive. Yes, well done. Drive it up all the way through, good. Elbows tucked in. Go on, last one. Go, drive, drive, drive. Yeah, easy work, easy.
Okay, so take a deep breath in at the top, come back. As soon as my back hits the bench, I'm pressing straight away. So I'll just show you that. So we're here, Doing a little deadlift with our bum being supported onto the bench, our weight being supported onto the bench. We grab the dumbbells, straighten the legs, pop it down onto the knees. Take a deep breath in, and then as soon as my back hits the bench, I'm going straight away. And we're firing through. You gotta go with speed, then bands add resistance all the way up. Keep it narrow, pull it down a little bit slower, there, a little bit slower than that. Good. Do you know when I was saying to come down slower? You were just letting it come down like that, okay? What I want you to do is utilize your lats and act like you're pulling the weight down. That'll give you a stronger foundation to drive from. Utilizing the lats and then driving it up. Yeah, that's much more stable base to drive from now. Big breath in, inflate, bounce off, good. Inflate, bounce off. Yeah, good, yeah. Yeah, that looked loads better, that. You feel better?
Yeah.
That looked faster with 5 kilos extra weight overall. When I'm saying inflate, everything's to make this body as stable as you can. Rack press with the bands on. The bands increasing the weight as we go up. So you need to be nice explosive, especially like, because we're starting from a dead start, you need to create, on a normal bench press, you'd rely on that bounce. And that first little bit of bounce, that stretch rotary cycle of your pecs for that first initial drive. Here, we're starting from a dead start. It's really relying on that concentric force, that power, max power that you can create, especially when you've got the bands as well, and makes it harder on the way up. Maximum force. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, good. Try and move this bar then. Lower back against the floor. Drive, 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 drive. Yeah, good. Drive, 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 drive. Good. 2, 1. Good. 1. Drive it, drive it, drive it, drive it. And time. Good. 3, 2, 1. Good. Max force, max intent. Stomach nice and tense. Lower back against the floor. Drive it, drive it, drive it, drive it, drive it. Yeah, good. Starting that hip thrust position. We're driving up our hips for the momentum, going into the press. Nice and slow down. As soon as it gets at shoulders, then start to come down. So all still one movement, but I don't want you to go too early with the hips. I don't want you to rest too far here. So there, bring it down, drop down, drive up, drop in. Good, and then drive it up. Good. With the dumbbells, don't let the dumbbells follow you down. So when you come down, let the dumbbells sit on top of your shoulders. Yeah, yeah. So it doesn't change angle compared to your body. Good. Nice. Drop it in, drive it up. Good. Drive it from your hips. Brilliant. Perfect form that. Really good. Pull the dumbbell in and drive it up. Pull it into neutral and drive it up. Depending on your range, don't go all the way down where you're turning that shoulder in. Kind of want it into that position. So it's almost like just a little bit deeper than a floor press. We keep that shoulder fixed in position, driving it up. And this is basically increasing that time and tension, your pecs and shoulder muscles without actually doing the reps. Pull it down, utilizing your lats, good. Then punch it up, good work. Good, drop down and drive it up, good. Pull it down, drive it up. It's good, good stuff. So rather than using the bench or the floor to create stability, we're actually using core, we're using the glute strength as well to be able to create that stability, making the pressing action a more global movement. So if you're thinking about like when you're delivering a punch, you're wanting to get all your body weight behind it. You need your core tense, you need your lats to be activated, needing the glutes to be tense as well to deal with that impact. Okay guys, so that's a collection of the pressing exercises that we use at Boxing Science. Now some recommendations about the rep ranges and how many sets. Normally we perform between 3 and 4 sets, and for beginner athletes we go between 8 and 10 repetitions. For athletes that are looking to improve strength, anywhere between 5 and 8, and then for more advanced athletes, between 3 and 5 repetitions. I wouldn't necessarily go any lower than 3 because the amount of stress going through the CSE joint, through shoulder joint, is going to be quite excessive. So we're not wanting to go any lower than 3 repetitions. Also, I'd only put in one of these exercises into a workout and only do this once per week. Along with the other session, the other strength session that you do is more focused on vertical pressing. And also when you put in a horizontal pressing exercise, I would put in 2 pulling or posterior shoulder exercises to complement the workout, because obviously we're going to be quite imbalanced towards anterior dominant exercises rather than working on the posterior shoulder muscles. So what you want to do is double up the exercises and also go for more repetitions on these exercises as well. So for example, if we're going to do 5 reps on a dumbbell chest press, I'd go between 8 and 10 repetitions on a TRX row or an inverted row. Increasing the amount of reps, we're increasing the amount of sets that's done around the posterior shoulder. More or less, we're going for a 3-to-1 ratio of reps for the posterior versus anterior movements through the upper body. So there are a few little tips. If you're wanting to find out more about our programming, you can check out the link in the description where you got access to all of our programs at Boxing Science with a 50% discount off your first purchase using this discount code below. And also you can check out the Train Like a Champion membership, which is only £19.99 per month. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully see you on the next video.